One of the surprising things that I've noticed so far about PlayStation fans is they aren't willing to settle for less, and they aren't willing to settle for like BS when it happens to them, right? And this is something that used to drive me crazy when I was like a huge like all-in Xbox fans. Don't get me wrong, I liked PlayStation as well back then, and I still like Xbox right now. But the big issue was that it just seemed like no matter what happened, you know, Xbox fans just refuse to ask for better, especially when it came to the AAA game space. It's just like they pretend, that nothing happened. Nothing happened, nothing's wrong, everything's fine. Instead of asking for actual big AAA exclusives, they would just say things like, pretend that they like things like Bleeding Edge or Battletoads or whatever. And you can tell this because, I have a decent following on social media, and so you would see actual Xbox fans show clips of them playing Bleeding Edge, and it's like you could just tell it was very forced, sort of to go in there and kind of play these games. And the same thing happens to a lot of games that are on Game Pass. A lot of these indies and smaller games, they aren't even exclusive to Xbox. They're just released first in Game Pass and might be timed or something along those lines. You've seen it with small games like 12 minutes, and there's a lot of other examples where they just act like those are like the bee's knees. I mean, these are like literally mid-level rated games, and they act like they're huge Xbox exclusives. Right now, if they had all put on this whole air of, hey, let's ask for better, let's demand better, Microsoft would have been forced to do something. Whether it means buy games, get some kind of content for their fans. I just think that it's weird how, they downplay that, but then you got a contingent of Xbox fans that believe they had anything at all to do with the reversal of the Horizon Forbidden West debacle, right? Where they now went back and said, okay, if you buy the PS4 version, you get the PS5 version for free, right? Like, so we're in this sort of weird situation now, but I do want to get into this because I felt like it's relevant. So Sony did update this, right? You guys might be aware this is a pretty big issue over the past couple of days. Pre-order Horizon Forbidden West, and the only upgrade path was none, basically. If you had the PS4 version and you paid $60 for it, you couldn't get the PS5 version unless you bought it outright for $70, or you had to buy the $80 like kind of cross-gen situation, which is pretty ridiculous, especially given the fact that they basically 100%. Jim Ryan on multiple occasions said that it's going to be a free upgrade path for that game, and now they've changed it. So now they went and made this official. They say Thursday was to be a celebration of Horizon Forbidden West, and the amazing team at Guerrilla working to deliver it on February 18th, 2022. However, it's abundantly clear that the offerings we confirmed in our pre-kickoff missed the mark. Last year, we made a commitment to deliver free upgrades for our cross-gen launch titles, which included Horizon Forbidden West. While the pandemic's profound impact pushed Forbidden West out of the launch window that we initially envisioned, we will stand by our offer. Players who purchase Horizon Forbidden West on PlayStation 4 will be able to upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version for free. I also want to confirm today that moving forward, PlayStation first-party exclusive cross-gen titles newly releasing on PS4 and PS5, both digitally and physically, will offer a $10 US digital upgrade option from PS4 to PS5. This will apply to the next-gen God of War and Gran Turismo 7 and any other exclusive cross-gen games on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Title published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. According to Jim Ryan, President and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, to upgrade an eligible PS4 game on disc to the digital PS5 version, you will need a PS5 console with a disc drive. PS4 game discs can't be used with the PlayStation 5 digital. So yeah, listen, they fixed the issue. I feel like I didn't see any PlayStation fans really kind of doubting this situation or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I saw PlayStation fans calling out Sony. It was in black and white. Jim Ryan had made this promise. Yes, there was a delay to the game, but it's still a promise that was made by Sony to Sony fans, and the fact that this kind of happened the way that it did is very unfortunate. But Sony made it right, and they let everybody know what the expectations are going forward, which I think is a very smart move. Some people might still find that unfortunate, but it's honestly Sony's prerogative to do what they want. I personally cannot wait for this cross-gen stuff to be over with. I feel like it holds back the current gen, and the longer we keep doing cross-gen, the more it's going to hold back what we get and what we're offered in terms of games and stuff like that. So I do hope that we see some things that come forth that are actually worthwhile in terms of being able to go out there and have a reason to buy these platforms, because I feel like so far, there hasn't really been that reason, particularly on Xbox. But again, with the delays that are going on with this type of game and things like that, it's pretty clear that we're starting to see some issues on both sides as well. You know what I mean? And that's pretty unfortunate if you ask me. But yeah, I think it's a good sign. Hopefully GT7 and God of War, the only ones outside of Horizon that are going to be cross-gen. I hope that that's the case. But something tells me stuff like The Last of Us remastered or remake or Factions will probably be cross-gen as well. So that's really kind of unfortunate as well. So again, it's just one of those things that I think they obviously see and they look at and they go, hey, you know what, we screwed up here, that's our bad. There was another bit of interesting news that came out as well, was a lot of people kind of speculated on this. If you remember, Sean Layden, the former PlayStation chief, who kind of abruptly left PlayStation, and people were wondering what happened. It's very interesting because a lot of people think he was forced out or there was some kind of power struggle or something along the lines. Back in September of 2019, Sony Group Corp abruptly announced that, on the PlayStation Twitter account, that longtime boss Sean Layden was stepping down, and the company didn't say why he was leaving, and Layden has mostly stayed quiet about his departure until now. At the time, Layden had achieved 6 video game consoles and was getting burnt out. It's a young person's activity, Layden said during a recent video call. I felt this is a good time for me to put the pin in my legacy. The former chief executive operator of PlayStation Worldwide Studios noted that he'd shepherded some of the highest rated games of the decade, such as Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War. That seemed like a good time to step off on top and allow another generation to take the PlayStation 5 to market. But there was speculation in the gaming press that Layden's exit was actually the result of a power struggle between him and current boss Jim Ryan, who oversaw the launch of the PlayStation 5 last year. Layden wouldn't get into specifics here. He said, I think I took my time at the moment I saw best to take it, and I couldn't be happier. And obviously, his next big job, his quote-unquote third act, as he calls it, his position on the advisory board at Streamline Media Group, a game services company, where he will advise the company on its global strategy for video games and enterprise. During the hour-long conversation, he talked about that and various other things. So, again, he doesn't totally deny that there was issues with kind of what was going on between him and Jim Ryan. So it does seem like maybe there was some kind of bad blood there, or some kind of issue. But at the end of the day, I feel like he's a real good guy, and I think a lot of fans probably miss him and some of his ideas and strategies and things like that. So we'll have to see how that goes. But with that being said, man, I appreciate each and every one of you. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.